Alright, back to the lubricare and maintenance. This looks a little better. We've cleaned everything up. I've discovered to assist me there is actually a oil level mark for filling this guy back up into this reservoir, this part around here. On the underside, and it's kind of hard to, probably won't show up very much, there's a little bit of a some pinholes that have developed. 1, 2, 3 of them right there. They go through clear to the inside. It's not going to show up very well, but anyway, they go to the inside. This inner part here doesn't hold oil, so it's not that big of a deal, I don't believe. I may go back later. Well, I will go back later just because I can't stand it, but I'll patch those up either by welding in or brazing in something just to fill those pinholes up. But we're cleaned, and we can get to the business of cleaning that filter up and getting closer to reassembling the air cleaner on top of the carburetor. Alright, so we're all cleaned up there. It actually wasn't too dirty in there. I'm going to guess somebody probably had already cleaned it once pretty good before me, maybe soaked it in gas or something, even though no, you're not supposed to do that. But anyway, I had some carb cleaner and shot that down through there, and it actually didn't come out that dirty, so I'm pretty pleased with that overall. It's certainly not anywhere near to the point of ever being blocked up. So, moving on. I'd say we're about ready to put the housing back on, and though this carburetor, I know the car does run, and that's great. There's obviously a lot of improvements that could be made around this carburetor. I noticed that there's a little pipe right off of here that sticks down into, almost looks like, yeah, that looks like it's tapping down into the exhaust manifold a little bit. It's completely rusted off right down in there and not even barely attached, so I can't tell you its exact function right there. The pretty complicated little accelerator pedal butterfly combination stuff we got going on here is pretty squeaky. I'll lubricate that up a little bit before we go. Fortunately, on these cars there is a heat riser, that whole mechanism right down there. And it's designed to let exhaust gas circulate around the carburetor and warm things up for faster startup. And I was afraid it was stuck in the warm-up position, because if it is, eventually your car will overheat. But I can tell by this guy right here, which is an anti-rattle weight spring device, and the position that it's in, that is the heat off position, and I got that from the manual. This is completely solidly frozen. It's not going to move anywhere anyway, but that's good. I don't need any more issues with overheating on this car, that's for sure. Get my light back here, and there's been a new modern fuel filter put on there, which is good. And I've been studying some of these other linkages and pipes, and I'm getting some of it, but it's probably a deeper dive than what I want to get into for right now. But it is working, so if I can get the air cleaner back on there, we'll call that good enough for right now, and we'll spend time with this carburetor on a later date. Well, I get the frustration what someone else might have had. I did get my cleaner housing to go over the carburetor like it's supposed to and cinch down tightly. Those pinholes that I have in the underside of there are a bit of a problem, because if you slop any oil like I did, it seems to perpetually leak out of the pinholes. But we do have oil down in the reservoir. It's hard to see. It's written in backwards. That says oil level right there with a downward arrow pointing just to right there. So it doesn't take very much in the bottom of it with some 50 weight, very thick oil. And we have our screw back in the top, so we're all buttoned up and should be pulling in some clean air. Moving on. It'll be hard to ever show in video, but just kind of trust me that the steering linkage that we had here, pretty much from the gas pedal to the carburetor, every joint was pretty much the way it was. Well, it's just never been given any oil in a very long time, so that's pretty pleasing. Every single pivot spot that I could find has been freed up a little bit, and it's operating much better now, which pleases me. It was literally sticking just a little bit in a few places, so I think we're in better shape already. Very good. Well, peering down further into here, that is the steering gearbox, and I do believe, boy is it crowded up, but that right there, pretty sure that is underneath there a square, probably filler, yeah, check plug, just so you can see if it's got steering gear lubricant in it. I'll go ahead and clean that off, take it up, and let's see what's in. Yep, there we go. That's a little bit better. There is a plug there. Oh, goodness. Let's see if we can get it out without breaking anything. Very good. Buick gives us the all clear to go ahead and use for just a top up like that. Wound up being some multi-purpose gear oil was all that was needed, as long as it's just a top up. So wonderful, it's not leaking, and it had a decent amount in it already. Moving on. Way down here, kind of hard to see if I can get my finger on it. There it is. That's a shock absorber filler cap right there, and I'd like to fill those up, but I think I'm going to wait until the wheels are actually on the ground and the suspension's actually being stressed a little bit there, and because it doesn't specifically state it, but you know, you can apparently fill those reservoirs up on the shock absorbers while it's on the ground without jacking it up like this. So probably would be truer and more accurate to do it while it's actually on the ground rather than on jack stands with the wheels suspended like it is right now. All right, moving on the driver's side, way down in there. New for me is a can I see it? Yeah, oops, let me get over it. There it is. That little guy right there is the entire brake fluid reservoir. That's it. Single. All or none. And back there it says make sure you use GMC brake fluid. I think I'll be using the brake fluid that I have on hand. Anyway, way down in there buried. It was interesting. I had a little difficulty trying to figure out where the heck it was, but that's the master cylinder there, I guess. So I'll unscrew that top and fill it up. It says to an inch to a half inch to the top. A big difference from nowadays, we have a plastic cap on top of everything, and here you get a ginormous heavy-duty threaded bolt or plug, and it's not showing up very well down there, but it's maybe just a little low. It's kind of hard to tell without shining a light on it at the same time, but I'll fill it up just a little bit. Well, we got her filled up. Kind of ugly looking fluid down inside there, to be honest, so probably needs a good, real good flushing and drain at some point in time here. But for right now, I'm just going to be happy that it's got fluid in it, and we have brakes and they're filled up. And the rest of all this here, this is all that rod coming out of there down to another bracket, and up here along with this little bit of electronics here. I'm pretty sure that's all linkages going back to the Dynaflow transmission, and probably a neutral or park only start type of relay or something going on there. But all these pivot points here are quite dry. There's been nothing lubricated there for a while, so we'll put a little bit of oil on those while we're here. So I'm here under the car now, under the driver's side, and here's some of the transmission linkage. Yeah. Boy, hard to get back to see all this stuff. And I'm tracing it back here to the transmission right here. It's going to be hard to hold the lighting and do some of these things at the same time, but I'll grease those up there and get the linkage points working. Here's a bonus. I didn't know if they would have it or not, but I do believe that right here underneath the automatic transmission, that would be a drain plug for draining the transmission. I think I'm missing a part, I would say. Oh, hold on, bear with me. Where's my bell housing? I do believe that right here, I should not be able to see all of that, and I got some bolt holes right there. I do believe we have lost some parts here. They've rusted away and just would need to be replaced. So I'll get to working on that here eventually. And then going further back, come on, keep going. So here's something new for me. This is a part of a beginning of torque tube, I'm guessing, yeah. A tube running all the way back to the differential. And I'm going to have to learn a little bit more about these because I know they can be a little bit of a problem, especially for someone like me working here under what limited space I have under the vehicle. But yeah, that must be my speedometer cable coming off of the transmission right there, I'm guessing. Be nice to know if the speedometer is still working or not. So we'll get those, at least the transmission linkage parts, greased up a little bit, and probably I'll move to the rear of the car and check out the differential. Got a little bit of a leak coming out of this torque tube area, which probably is going to be a bit of a pain, something to be dealt with, but we'll sort that out later. I don't know if that's necessarily from the transmission, probably, but we'll check the transmission fluid here a little later. Took me a little bit of time to find it, but one more lubrication point on here that doesn't necessarily stand out that much, but is pretty important too, is it's right here, and there's teeth here. These are the detents on your, when you're going through your gears and your transmission there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Couldn't hardly see them down in there, but they're absolutely bone dry, and they need a little bit of chassis lubricant on there, a little heavier duty grease to keep them going nice. So there we go. That should be the end of the transmission linkage lubrication. Well, I'm going to switch up gears, going to the back of the car here for a bit, and it's kind of hard to gauge the size of stuff without having some rounded, but that's a 12-inch foot, and that's looking like about a truck differential in the back there, for crying out loud. Wow. And notably, if you can see, the rest of the frame on the car is just comically thick. In addition, they even, I don't know if it shows right, but that's an X bracing in the middle of the car. Like they said, well, we didn't know if we're going to do a convertible body or a hardtop body, but whatever, we'll just go ahead and make it so strong that it'll do either just fine. So there's a lot of suspension there. I'm thinking this member here has gotten, I don't know if you can sight down it here with me, but That looks to me like it's had some type of bend or kink or damage. So this car's been in, I already knew it was in some kind of an accident in its life before. I'm seeing some other things here that, I don't know if it's related to that or just wear and tear on the car. It's 7 years old. It could have been in more than one accident, but anyway, pretty impressive frame. Pretty straightforward differential check. I'll just take that plug out, see if there's fluid up to the top, and that's that. And then I'm noticing here on the gas tank, that's a dent in there, so it's been dented in a little bit. And noticed also down here, so there's a zero in on it. There's a little bit of a lip down there. See how that's been bent down and out? That looks like a hitch has been put on there. It may have been pulled out of a ditch or slid off the road or towed poorly. Who knows what happened? We'll never get the full story on a car unless you owned it your whole life, but that'll be interesting. I noticed when this car was full, there was a tiny bit of gas that went dripping out of the front of it. I love how everything on the vehicle here, even the gas tank, has a drain plug on it. How cool is that? Exhaust is looking pretty good under there. That's a newer piece of exhaust down there, so that might be a blessing to have one more thing that I don't have to replace. But anyway, back to the, we'll get the differential topped up. One other thing I saw here that was not quite so good, not really that big of a deal, but it's going to have to be addressed. This guy here, that's a homemade connection there on this, this is the connection to the rear shock absorber, and this is like a link. And on the other side, that link, the duplicate, I don't even think it's attached. I guess I can try to show that here, but yeah, that just comes out. So it's kind of, I mean, it's attached in a sense that I don't know if it'll pop all the way off, but it's supposed to be screwed on there and connected. So bad lighting to show that, but yeah. I might be able to squeeze that in and put a nut on it or something like that. I may have to replace that, but that would be added to the list of things that probably will need to be rectified down the road here. I've got my list going here, and we'll go over that list of stuff, but anyway, back to finishing up with the fluids. Then we'll go to the engine, make sure it's full of oil, and hopefully get to some other stuff here today. All right, rear axle lubricant is in there up to the bottom of the plug filler hole there, and I think I'm done for back here, for right now at least. And then let's move on to last but not least, engine oil. All right, last but not least, on the passenger side again, down there we have a couple dipsticks. That one right there, that is engine oil, and right down there we have transmission, and I know it's been running. I expect to see oil in here. Let's see if I can get on it. Oh yeah, there we go. This may be hard to see, but they got 3 holes that they use there. Dead middle is where it's supposed to be. You can add up to that full mark there, and not lower than that bottom hole, and that's apparently 1 quart of oil separates the middle from the bottom and the middle from the top hole. So plenty of oil in there. Good. Hopefully that's the end of the major part of the lubrication check, and we can move on to getting it started and seeing what type of temperature and oil pressure, if any, readings we can get on the gauges, and see how it runs, hopefully.